All right, let's jump right into a really interesting topic today. We're going to look at how faith can be woven directly into school subjects. Specifically, we're diving into a grade 6 math lesson that tries to do a lot more than just teach statistics. It's actually aiming to build wisdom.
And this whole idea really starts right here, with this foundational verse, Romans 8:6. This isn't just a background thought, it's presented as the core principle for everything that follows. It sets up a clear choice between two ways of thinking and two very, very different outcomes.
And that leads to this massive question. We see this all around us, right? You have people with incredible degrees, brilliant people who know so much, but they still make choices that just create chaos for themselves and everyone around them. So, what's the missing ingredient here?
Well, the material we're looking at frames this as a full-blown crisis, a crisis of knowledge that's been separated from any kind of moral compass. The argument is that when education is cut off from God's Spirit, you might get cleverness, sure, but you don't necessarily get righteousness or peace.
This approach really breaks down that verse from Romans into two very clear paths. On one side, you've got a mind focused on worldly things, which leads to cleverness, but it can also lead to destructive choices. And on the other side, a spiritual mindset, which is all about cultivating true wisdom, the kind that leads to life, peace, and what this curriculum calls godly decisions.
So what's the alternative? Well, the solution presented in this material is something called the Godly Learners Series from HeroesMart Academy. It's not just one book, it's an entire curriculum built from the ground up on this very idea of mixing faith and academics.
And the mission is really straightforward. Create educational materials for every single grade level that don't just produce smart students, but wise ones. The whole point is to weave biblical morality into every single subject, helping young people use what they learn for good and build lives of real integrity.
And this right here, this is the core belief that drives the whole philosophy. It's a pretty bold statement, isn't it? That education without a moral foundation isn't just neutral. It can actually be harmful. The key idea is that knowledge needs the guidance of wisdom to be truly good for anyone. Okay, so that's the big idea, but let's get practical. What does this actually look like in a real classroom? We're going to walk through a grade 6 math lesson on data analysis step by step to see exactly how this works.
So, the very first example uses math to analyze something deeply personal, prayer. The assignment is to predict future prayer times by looking at data from the past.
So, you look at the data and a pattern jumps out right away. Most of the prayer times are clustered between 10 and 20 minutes. So, a student can pretty easily predict that tomorrow's time will probably land in that same window. It's a simple bit of analysis, but it directly connects a math skill to a daily act of faith.
And the tool they use for this is a dot plot. It's just a really simple graph that lets you see all the numbers visually, making it super easy to spot the most common values, in this case, that 10 to 20-minute prayer range.
Okay, let's move on to the next example and see how this idea builds. Now, instead of a personal habit, we're using data for community planning, figuring out the best day for a church picnic. So, you look at the attendance records for the last 4 Sundays, and a clear pattern emerges. That 50 to 59 person range, it happened twice. The other higher attendance ranges only happened once each. The data pretty much speaks for itself.
So the wise, data-driven decision is to plan the picnic for a Sunday when you can reasonably expect that most common attendance number. And you see, this is about more than just getting the math right. It's framed as stewardship, using information to serve your community well.
And our last example from the lesson really leans into that idea of stewardship even more. This time, it's about estimating how much food is needed for a church event, which, of course, has some really clear parallels to biblical stories about feeding the crowds. So the data shows that the number of loaves used can range from 10 all the way up to 30. But the most important value here is the median. That's the number that's smack dab in the middle, which is 20. It's a perfect example of how a simple statistical idea can help you plan responsibly and make sure you don't waste resources.
The tool for this is the box plot, which is fantastic because it lets you see the whole range of data in one quick picture, from the lowest number to the highest, and of course, that all-important middle point, the median. So the lesson itself is one thing, but how do you make it stick? Well, the homework assignments are designed to take these ideas and apply them to all sorts of other areas of faith and service. It shows that this way of thinking isn't a one-off trick, it's a real tool.
And they really go for it.
Students use the same kind of data analysis to predict study goals, plan for future ministry needs, and even estimate how many backpacks they'll need for an outreach event. Every single problem reinforces this core idea. Math can be a powerful tool for serving God and other people.
And all of this brings us right back to the big picture. When you pull back, you realize the goal of this kind of education isn't just to get kids to master dot plots or medians. It's about shaping a whole mindset, one that they hope leads to life and peace.
You include this verse from Proverbs in the lesson, and it just captures the spirit of the whole exercise perfectly. The idea is that wise planning, whether you're doing it through prayer or through data analysis, is a way of committing your work to the Lord. It's an act of both faith and responsibility.
So ultimately, the real payoff here isn't getting a better grade in math. It goes back to that promise from Romans 8:6 that we started with. The idea is that by training your mind to use knowledge through a lens of faith, the ultimate reward is a life of purpose and a mind that's at peace.
And that really just leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If the next generation was taught not just what to think, but how to think with this kind of wisdom and moral compass, what kind of world could they possibly build? What kinds of decisions would they make? It's definitely a powerful question to think about.